Hi everyone, it's Liz here and happy Wednesday to you all. I don't know if any of you caught my tiny little Facebook Live I did a minute ago as I struggled to get the cover off my phone and was pulling all sorts of very weird faces, but hopefully not, because it wasn't that exciting, I have to tell you. But today's topic is how to find an inspirational superstar for your struggling learner. Now, sometimes when we realise that our child is struggling to learn, the one thing we don't think of initially is finding an amazing inspirational someone or finding a mentor. Generally, the first thing we start thinking about is how can we fix this? How can we fix the fact that our child now doesn't want to go to school, or the fact that our child is feeling overwhelmed? We start seeking help from teachers, we start looking for tutors, we start having family discussions, and all the while our child is becoming more and more downhearted, disheartened, and quite often, as we all know, the anxiety builds and their state of mental health starts to become a real issue for our family, because as we all know, when our children feel sad or angry or unhappy, that makes us feel sad, unhappy and angry as well. So it is kind of one of those states that it really sends ripple effects through our families. So our role as parents is massive, because we end up trying to look after our child's mental health, but also look after the issue at hand, which is the fact that they're not learning like the other children. Sometimes I always find that confidence is king, and if you can help your child to remain confident throughout, then and if your child knows that you support them wholeheartedly and that you're there for them every step of the journey, it can make a massive difference to your child. Yes, life's always going to be like this, a roller coaster, but generally that child knows that you are on their team and you are always going to be there for them. So I find quite often the best place to start is by finding an inspirational superstar. So that is somebody who's maybe famous or successful, somebody who has been on a similar journey to the one that your child is on. They might have learning differences, a learning difficulty, or perhaps they even have a learning disability of some type, and they have struggled and had major life challenges. But no matter what life has thrown at them, they have managed to succeed, and not only succeed, but succeed in a really public way. And quite often our children don't realise, as they struggle, that there are plenty of other people out there who have been on a similar journey and have struggled in the same way. So it doesn't take long to look on the internet with a computing device and start to find inspirational superstars that can really help to build our children's confidence. So today's Facebook Live is all about that. It's about inspiring you as parents to get online, to have a look on dyslexiadaily.com and to find some people who can inspire your child that life, yes, it's tough, and yes, it's hard, and yes, a lot of us have all sorts of ways in which we need to overcome adversity, but there are people out there who've done it and done it really well, and there's no reason why your child can't do that too. So Richard Branson is the one that we all know of, and he's the one who wrote the foreword in my book, Helping Children with Dyslexia. He wrote, it's important as a dyslexic that you don't spend energy about worrying what you can't do, but instead figure out what you can do and make sure you do it well. I truly believe that being dyslexic can be turned into a blessing. Make the most of what you have. So Richard Branson, when he wrote the foreword for my book, wrote a beautiful foreword, which was really inspirational. And I know a lot of people use Richard Branson as their inspirational superstar because he has done well on so many different levels: business, personal life. He's an adventurer. He's got a great personality. He's funny. He attracts people to him. But there's plenty of others too. There's actors like Whoopi Goldberg, Tom Cruise, Jay Leno. And if you can actually see, Jay Leno is at the top of the blog post that I send out today. And he's actually signing an autograph for a little boy who finds Jay Leno inspiring. Of course, he's the talk show host from America. Orlando Bloom, he's the Australian actor. Henry Winkler, who was the Fonz in, what was that show called? I can't even think of it right now. Happy Days. Thank you, Bronwyn. Bronwyn's over there helping me with that one. Happy Days. He was the Fonz, and he's dyslexic, and he was saying that he invariably didn't learn his lines until right before he went onto the set, and he's now writing books about another little boy that's got dyslexia, and they're great books too. So look up Henry Winkler's books for children. Little chapter books they are, they're fantastic. We've got Jamie Oliver, who's an amazing chef and a celebrity, also dyslexic, hugely successful career. He's written books, had his own television show. That's The Lawnmower starting, just so you know, because my son's about to mow the lawns for me. But Jamie Oliver's got television shows, lots of restaurants, he's made documentaries, he's inspired schools to change their eating regimes. He's done all sorts of things, and he basically says school just wasn't his place to shine, but outside of school he's done incredibly well. Agatha Christie, as you all know, she always comes out and says what a terrible, terrible speller she was. Do you know about 50% of the English-speaking population struggle with spelling? So this is not an unusual scenario. But for Agatha Christie, she said that she was a very bad speller, and she always was. So she's written 66 mystery novels, 14 short stories, and she's had some of those stories translated into over 100 languages, and her stories have sold over 4 billion copies. So it's not hard to find somebody. So think of all the things that your children love doing. I mean, even though they can struggle with learning, it doesn't mean they can't tell a mean story, and that doesn't mean they can't record a story being told using voice to text, and it doesn't mean they have to be a great speller either. Yes, it helps, but it's not imperative to whether you're going to end up being a world famous writer or not. Steven Spielberg is one. He found out much later that he had dyslexia and that he had always struggled. He has now directed 60 movies, of which many had been successful. And he said that when he found out that he was diagnosed with dyslexia, it was the last puzzle part in his tremendous mystery that he kept to himself all of those years, because he knew that he always struggled, but he didn't dwell on it. He did what he did well, which was directing movies and being involved in the movie industry. So you can really find inspirational superstars everywhere. There are lots and lots of athletes, lots and lots of artists, there's architects, there is interior designers, there are engineers, there are so many different areas, even medicine, nursing, teaching. It's just so broad. Just because somebody struggles at school does not mean they are going to go on and be an incredibly successful person and have enormous success and happiness in their life. So if you have a child that is struggling at school, my suggestion is to very quickly identify other people who've struggled at school that your child can relate to, that have gone on to achieve great life happiness and success. And that will help your child see that it's not just their journey, but it's been the journey of many others before them. So I hope you have a super, super day, a happy, happy Wednesday. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. If you want to know some more inspirational people, we have a list of plenty of them on dyslexiadaily.com. You can find them on the internet. There's plenty in the blog post that went out today as well. So you can start leaving some inspiration around for your child to find, so that life is not all doom and gloom. There are plenty of people who have led incredibly good lives, even when they did find life and school difficult. So have a super day, everyone, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now. And hi, Saber, nice to see you.